Lauren and Ashton's Gapminder Project. Today, we will be comparing underweight children to income per person, starting in 1975 and continuing until 2008. The graph shows a negative correlation between underweight children and income. Our hypothesis is that the negative correlation is because many families with less income cannot afford to feed their children a healthy, balanced diet. So, the less a family makes per year, the more underweight the child will be. The graph here on the screen refers to percent of children under 5 who are more than 2 standard deviations below average weight for age.
The average 4-year-old in the United States weighs 35 pounds, but in many other countries it is less. The Gapminder graph shows that many countries have a significant percentage of children who are underweight. Many of these countries, such as Bangladesh and India, have relatively small income per person. If a child is underweight, they could have many health risks. These risks include malnutrition, anemia, or even decreased immune functions. Bangladesh is shown to have many malnourished children, and anemia is very prevalent throughout their country, especially among young infants. These issues could be caused by the lower income families in the nation not being able to give their children a healthy diet.
For the extreme cases, so observing each side of the graph, the United States appears on the graph at the very bottom in yellow. The average income in the United States in 1996 was $40.5 thousand. In 1996, there was 0.95% of kids that were underweight. So, that is less than 1%. In blue, at the top, represents Bangladesh. In 1996, the average income was $1,470, and there was about 56.7% of underweight children. Nigeria is one of the middle points, and it is a bluish-purple point on this graph. This point reads that in 1996, the average income was $2,820, and there was approximately 31.5% of children underweight at this time. The trend with Bangladesh being one of the highest points and the United States being one of the lowest points and Nigeria being the middle continues on throughout the years. Some of these points move to a better area on the graph, but the movements are minimal. As an example, Bangladesh starts at about 60,000 of underweight children in 1993 and ends around 41% of underweight children in 2007. There obviously was not too drastic of a change in those 15 years. A small change is definitely better than no change because being underweight can cause many health issues for kids. It can even potentially cause death.
The examples shown on the Gapminder graph give a good indication that our hypothesis of lower income countries having a larger rate of underweight children is correct. Many countries that have a lower income do not have the resources to give a healthy diet or sometimes even food in general to their children. Yet, in higher class economies, such as the United States, there is a very low rate of underweight children because the countries have a stable economy. The United States has programs such as giving lower income families food stamps to ensure that children and their people are fed. Thus, the lower the average income per person in a country, the more underweight children will be prevalent.